Okay, this is Yongping Zhai from Asian Development Bank as a co-organizer together with Professor Jerry Yan, Applied Energy. I would like to get this session started. So in half a minute. We are still getting a few participants joining in. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm Yongping Zhai, Chief of Energy Sector Group of Asian Development Bank. On behalf of the organizer and co-organizer, together with Professor Jerry Yan, who is here, we would like to welcome all the participants joining us for this very special session on the COVID-19 impact on the energy sector and energy sector's response to this pandemic. Since early this year, all of us, or most of us, have been working from home. Myself, I've been sitting in here in the same place for last almost 10 months. But looking back these 10 months, I think the energy sector overall, globally, is doing very well. The energy sector and power sector have been able to provide very much needed energy to support the virtual infrastructure. As we can have a virtual meeting today and the whole conference is because the energy sector, the power is working well. In particular, we can look at the renewable energy. The share of renewable energy has increased in spite of overall decrease in the demand because of the lockdowns. So renewable energy has shown great resilience, almost immune to the pandemic. So this is a good thing to look and a lot of good lessons to learn. Nevertheless, I think the pandemic will not go away soon. It's going to be a long-term matter. We need to look at the long-term impact of this pandemic and what would be, and assess what would be the response of our energy sector. For example, before the pandemic, we have been pushing for collective public transport as a way of saving energy. However, if these days you go to, say, any chance, you go to Tokyo, and the first thing they tell you is not to use any public bus, not to use trains. Please go to taxi stand. So this is one example. Also, working from home implies also the whole public building, our office building, will be partly occupied, but still we need to supply energy and, of course, ensuring energy supply at home. So what will be the pattern there? And same for the air conditioning in the public buildings. In the past, in order to save energy, we do a lot of recirculated air back to the system, up to, let's say, 70% around. But these days, at the time of pandemic, and the recommendation would be to actually take as much as fresh air as you can. The energy efficiency becoming a different matter. And we can talk a lot of this kind of impact. Also, when we hope the vaccines will be available very soon. But in order to reach the right people in the remote areas, we need a cold chain to take care of these vaccines. So it is an energy matter as well. So a lot of these issues we need to assess and get ready. So this is the purpose of today's discussion. I'm very keen to learn from experts, the presentations, but also the panel discussions, I hope that after this discussion, I will work again with Professor Jerry Yan to publish a special issue of applied energy based on these discussions today. Before I hand over to my colleague, Mr. Dan Millison, who will moderate the rest of the session, I would like to remind our participants that today's meeting will be completed, ended earlier, 15 minutes earlier, to give way to another important keynote speech at the same virtual room. So we'll go almost 3 hours without break. So make sure that we finish. I cannot mention time because we're all in different time zones. So from now and 3 hours will be end of this today's program. Thank you very much. I would like to invite Mr. Dan Millison, who's our senior consultant for ADB, and he's been working in this area for many, many years. You can see from his, he's a very, old professional. Dan, please.
Hi, thank you, Yongping, and thanks everyone for being here today. Yongping likes to use his brain, so he asked me to help moderate the meeting. Now, just basically, everyone sees the program, and you've seen the bios. So I'm not going to read any bios or anything. I'll just introduce the speakers and let you take the lead. I'll send you each of you speakers a reminder in the chat box on the time. You have 20 minutes. If you can shorten it and do it in 15, that would be great. I'll send you a reminder at 10 minutes when you have 10 minutes left, and I'll send a reminder when there's 5 minutes left. And we will not have the coffee break as was originally programmed. So first, I'd like to introduce David Elzinga, who's a senior energy specialist at Asian Development Bank. He works in the group where Yongping is the chief, and David is going to tell us about some philosophical things on ADB's responses to COVID-19. Take it away, David.